Welcome to the New to Wrestling podcast, where I, your host, Xavier Cruz, a lifelong wrestling fan, will take a lifelong friend through the action, the joys, and the drama of the world of professional wrestling. My co-host, Kelsey Silva, has been bitten by the wrestling bug, and I want to invite you to join us as I take her through the moments that made me a fan. So if you're new to wrestling and would like to get brought up to speed, or a fan who would like to relive some classic matches, promos, and segments through fresh eyes, join us as we embark on a journey through the Attitude Era and beyond. Welcome to the New to Wrestling podcast. Hello, and welcome to another edition of the New to Wrestling podcast. This week, we watched the January 27th, 1997 edition of Monday Night Raw, and the match card is as follows. In our opener, we had Ahmed Johnson taking on Crush of the Nation of Domination. In our second match, we had the British Bulldog taking on Doug Furnas. And in our main event, we had a tag team match, the unlikely duo of Vader and Mankind taking on...
Still weird.
I know.
The Godwins. Still weird.
So
the Godwins aren't weird, but
I mean, they're a little weird, but it's like,
oh well, they're weird. But I mean, them being together with their manager Hillbilly Jim just makes sense.
Weird. Yeah. That the synergy on that one all tracks.
Seamless.
Mm-hmm. But first, before we get into the episode, I wanted to talk about a comment that we got in regards to last week's episode at our request for more information about kind of what happened. But I'm gonna let Kelsey take it away.
Which I believe this is the same person that commented originally to tell us that they thought that the match went to Stone Cold because it was spoiled by Bret Hart. It was spoiled that Bret Hart was gonna win. Mm-hmm. I think they were the person that commented on the previous video, and then we asked for more tea without spoilers, basically. And this person provided, girl. So shout out to Howdy Ni. Howdy N.I. I don't know if I'm mispronouncing it, but shout outs to you, because when I tell you this person came with receipts, links to videos, like quotations, I was like so impressed. So thank you. Absolutely. And I'm gonna read the comment. So apparently it was then WWF magazine writer Vic Venom, real name Vince Russo, who made an educated guess on WWF Livewire in 1996, then provided the link to the YouTube video where you can watch that. I started watching it, but I don't think I got to the part where he said anything yet, but I'm going to watch it anyway and see the actual quote. But in 2016, Russo recalled what happened, quote, "Everybody had different predictions and Vince McMahon was in the studio at the time. They asked me for my prediction and I'm there as Vic Venom. And I said, are you kidding me? It's obvious Bret Hart is winning the Royal Rumble. And I really put over Bret Hart. I didn't have a second or third choice. As soon as it ended, Vince was very red in the face. He started firing up on me, asking how I could give away the finish of the Royal Rumble. I looked him straight in the eye and said I had no idea who was going to win the Royal Rumble, and nobody had told me. It's obvious to any fan sitting at home that Bret Hart was going to win the Royal Rumble. I wasn't in the inner circle at that point. It was just obvious Bret Hart was going over," end quote.
So that is the supposed reason why the match finish got changed, which is pretty interesting.
Which just the tea, girl. But also, again, like, you're asking someone for their prediction. Don't be mad when they predict it, because, like,
right. And it's also funny because
I did the same thing. I did the same thing.
Literally, you literally were like, "Oh, this whole time, like, this is what I feel like he's gonna win because he's been like losing like bad all of this time, and he like needs to win." Like, it was all right there. It was all right there.
They put the pieces together, and like like I said, when they put that he injured his leg or something, and I was like, I feel like they're just trying to throw me off because they're like, it makes you want to question it. Yeah, it makes you want to question it. But I was like, no, like I made the same. I was that meme of that lady with the math going. I was like, so like, how are you gonna be mad at him? But I will say the ending gives you more of the shock value, and it's leading up to this insane match that I cannot wait to see between Vader, Undertaker, Stone Cold, and Bret Hart. I cannot wait to see that match. So I'm not mad at the outcome, but
but it sheds a little bit of light onto the kind of the curveball that we all got.
Yes. Yeah, totally.
It sheds a little bit more light onto that. And Vince Russo, who is the person giving that quote, will become like one of Vince's like writers during this upcoming time period that we're
Oh, big
like
T.
that we're talking about. And he's also a very controversial figure in the wrestling world, generally.
Oh, really?
Just yeah, well, his idea of, and I literally had just watched a like Dark Side of the Ring today that had a like mention of him, but he said in that episode, or like they pulled up at that episode, that his idea of like getting people to like watch was just kind of like a shock value. Like he said his philosophy as far as like promoting and like booking or like writing wrestling shows was, I wrote it with the idea in my mind that the person has a remote control in their hand and is like about to change the channel at any point. So
Oh,
like you can
I
kind of
mean,
imagine, yeah. So, and you will see kind of where we're going. And you can kind of see like he was somebody that like had a lot of like crazy ideas, and some of them were like very good, but on the flip side of that, uh he pumped out just as many not great ideas, and
oh
like
God.
had at least the filter of Vince McMahon in the WWF, that like Vince had to approve everything.
Okay.
Whereas like, you know what I mean? Whereas like he wasn't just like allowed to go like run loose. Um, Whereas they got to a point where they ended up splitting and he ends up going to WCW, and he's only there for like 3 months or something, and it's like a dumpster fire. Like it's a mess. It is a mess. Like they do
Oh
some
my God.
mighty embarrassing television in the early 2000s as far as WCW is concerned.
No
Um,
way.
Dude, and there's a whole episode. We'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Yeah.
We got something cooking for you guys. So
I'm so excited. This is like, that's going to be so good. I can't wait. So
yeah.
stay tuned. But thank you again so much for commenting. I like the download, the receipts, the quote. I was like, this person put in so much work and I'm so grateful. Thank you very much. Cause like I live for backstory context. Like, why did this happen? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so thank you so much
You're
for providing the deets.
absolutely, you're feeding Kelsey's like budding
Soul.
wrestling obsession.
My Horcrux is like
No,
like
because like the way you really get her in is like the tea of the situation. Like,
literally.
you
Literally.
bitch.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no, really though, because like even just that, like Vic Venom, I'm like, wait, what? That's
Right, right,
crazy.
right. So let's get into this episode. It starts us off with just kind of a recap of last week. We once again get the like Bret was screwed by everybody, like,
Hmm. Yep.
kind of situation leading into the fatal four-way that Kelsey has alluded to in the beginning,
Cannot
between
wait.
Bret Hart, Undertaker, Stone Cold, and Vader, which is just going to be an absolute mess from
A
top to bottom. It's going to
bloodbath.
be amazing.
In the words
Uh,
of JR, a real slobber knocker.
a real slobber knocker. What a guy out
What a
here just
guy.
making vocab words.
He made like one little cameo in this episode, but it was such a good one,
Oh
which
my
we'll,
god.
we'll also get into. It's just
Mm,
like so silly.
all right. So this first match at the top is continuing the Ahmed Johnson versus the Nation feud, because Ahmed Johnson is taking on Crush of the Nation. And it also gives us a kind of flashback to their Saturday night show. Why can I never remember the name of this show? Shotgun Saturday.
Shotgun Saturday night.
Bam.
Okay.
Where he was on a team with Savio Vega, and it looks like Ahmed Johnson has like the upper hand in the match, and then Savio Vega like goes and like calls Ahmed Johnson over because he wants the tag, and then proceeds to hang Ahmed Johnson over the top rope, turning on him, thus seemingly joining the Nation, seemingly just not. It wasn't really super expressed until later on in the
Later,
episode, which we will get to.
which we will discuss. I
Oh,
have some things to say.
oh, yes, you do.
I
How the
absolutely
mighty
do.
have fallen. Uh,
I just can't.
so Crush did not get the royal treatment as far as the Nation introduction is concerned.
This was great. It was like
much to the delight of all of us.
Swear to God, though, I can't do it anymore. Thank you.
Yeah, well, since they didn't quite get the attention that they normally get during the introduction, and they found other ways throughout the match. So Ahmed Johnson enters the ring and then starts kind of like stalking the two hooligans from the Nation, just kind of like around the ring, and Crush like runs up behind him and just like gets the match started just chaotically.
Just for, yeah.
Because I mean, you gotta imagine from Ahmed, he is at this point, there are so many of them. It's like, who do you choose to put your hands on?
Swear to God, like everywhere
one?
you turn, like you could literally throw a fist in any direction, you're gonna hit one of them.
No, literally, they're
It's
always
so crazy.
Just there's Nation members abound. They're
abound, surplus, overstocked. To send them to consignment. Too many.
And
too
like
many.
And honestly, like a lot of them are just copy paste, really.
Yeah.
I only need one Punk if they're going to be dressed exactly the same, and I only need one.
Literally, no, they're like two little gargoyles heralding the entrance, just creeping along.
Generous. You know what? You know the little tiny dragon in Mulan, like Mushu.
Don't even disrespect Mushu like that. First of all,
it's not even that. It's just like the size of like everybody else that's in the Nation, and then you have like these two little
chihuahuas.
Yeah, absolutely, just just absolutely barking at what?
For what?
At what?
At who?
Just like shake them off. Like,
yeah, like ugh, like.
How does like something so little contain so much evil?
All you need is a spray bottle.
Ahmed Johnson should have thought about that. Maybe instead of the
2x4, you're doing too much.
Doing too much. Just the spray bottle. Like that's how you train these fools. So
such a visual.
not us equating the Nation to literal chihuahuas.
Somebody has to.
I mean, if the shoe fits, if the tiny collar fits. This match was pretty good. It was like very like evenly matched. They're both like gargantuan men, so it was very back and forth, very hard hitting, lots of like power slams, and Ahmed Johnson had this really impressive crossbody like kick where he kind of like steps in front of Crush, and then just kind of like there was like kind of like a moment where you're like, what's he gonna do? Like he has Crush's like arm, and then he just rears back and just like decks him like a
pops him with the leg,
just like with the meatiest thigh, just like boom, just
big meaty thighs.
literally.
He also did this thing like, and I don't remember the name of it, where like you jump and like kick both your feet at the same time into somebody's chest.
A drop kick.
That one. So a drop kick, but Crush was jumping off the top rope.
Oh,
and Ahmed like tilted back, and like it was crazy. It was like very agile for a man of his
stature,
size. Like he's a big dude. But yeah, he was like Crush coming off the top rope, and he went like
no, literally it was like,
crazy.
It was like drop kicking like a VW bug. Like it's such a big man that like, and like that's like 300 pounds just like coming at you, getting stopped by another 300-pound man, just like
it is literally like Godzilla versus Mothra. Like it's
God,
OD, just like big like
Crush, just like buildings falling all around, just
yeah, I love it. Love to see it.
So and then Ahmed Johnson misses an elbow drop like right after that, which is just like, you're spending too much time looking at all these Nation members, which I get, because one of them out here, it cuts to like a wide shot of like the whole ring, and then all of a sudden one of the little stooges decided that is his moment. He's like, in his mind, he is in the crowd at like Times Square, New Year's Eve. He's in the background, like
he's at a concert. He's like feeling the music. I don't know.
But he just starts unzipping his like windbreaker and just like throws it like over the shoulder, just like a whole, and just leaves it there, and just spends like 5 minutes just kind of like posing and like showing off his chest tats.
Yeah, because here's the gag. He had no shirt on. He's
No.
wearing like a windbreaker, and you guys know what windbreaker material is. Like, I'm talking, there's got to be some chafage. Like, there must
For
be. Like, that
sure.
cannot be comfortable. And like, at first he took it off, and like, I'm gonna be mean. I'm so sorry. God forgive me. But like,
Go for
I
it.
thought he was wearing a wrinkly white shirt.
No, literally.
And then I was like,
Nope.
that's his chest.
It's
That's
glowing.
it's bioluminescent.
It was
It's
brutal. It was
and
enough to be like distracting. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just
yes,
like I just wasn't expecting like a strip tease in the background of this wrestling match. Like,
because
it
that's
just
what it
wasn't.
was. The jaunty off the shoulder was like too much for me. Like,
No,
unzip the
fully.
jacket, whatever, but it was like,
It gave very you know how like Ariana Grande comes on stage with those giant oversized like coats and she just like
yes,
hangs them like off, you know what I mean? Like I half expected him to just like throw on some thigh highs and give us a strut around the ring. I was
with
like
the ponytail.
I
It
was
was
like,
very
sir,
like,
yes, and like
you know, oh my God, Anastasia, and they're doing the auditions, and she goes, grandmother, it's me, Anastasia, and she has like the
no,
huge fur off her shoulder.
he fully believed he was Anastasia. He was like,
Ahmed Johnson, it's me, Anastasia.
Anastasia. I honestly he should have worked on it more. I think
He could have really sold it.
yeah, no, this it just I don't know. It was just such a like an off-putting
It was weird.
situation that like nobody was prepared for. Not a soul, not one.
And then I think he realized it was weird because then he slowly, like, after like 2-3 minutes, he started to kind of go
like put
like
it back.
put it back
Right.
on.
And it
Like,
was
he's
just
like,
like,
actually, this was kind of weird.
right, you did that. You did do that, sir.
He was like, I thought this was working for me, and I might have made a mistake. Which, listen, we all do it. We all do it. Just don't do it again. Or wear a shirt.
I thought something. I was just like, okay. All right. That was a choice. So back to the match. We're at a point where Crush starts distracting the referee, essentially. And Farouk, who has just been lurking in the Raw sign, like just an absolute predator, just like is
With like
hanging out.
one leg out.
No, literally just like looming in the shadows. I was like, okay. So he finally like makes his way down to the ring when Crush is distracting the referee, attacks Ahmed Johnson, gives him like the Cisco treatment, and like throws him back in the ring, and like just chaos.
That took me like a whole 3 seconds to land. The Cisco.
Oh, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Cisco, acclaimed singer of the thong song.
I'm literally wheezing like I can't breathe.
Because Farouk turned this man's wrestling attire into the G-string of the century
That
when he
thong, the thong,
tossed
thong,
him
thong.
back in the ring. There was moons were out.
Full moon. I am on Tatooine. Multiple moons.
No, that's how much ass
Multiple.
this man has.
Whoa. And it like, and the thing is, I think we talked about this in one of like the earliest episodes, is that Ahmed Johnson like never picks his wedgie.
No.
It was so bad. He literally like had to be like, hold on. And like, to,
like give me a second.
Oh my God, this Cisco treatment. Because I was like, I thought you were gonna say like he does the Cisco like that was a move I didn't know, and I was like, wait, what? And then you're like the Cisco treatment and and I was like, oh my God, like that was so good. Holy.
Thank you.
Wow.
So Farouk attacks Ahmed Johnson from behind, and Crush then performs the heart punch. It's just a punch to the chest.
I wanted it to be like the Kill Bill thing, where she does the thing like in his chest, and it's like if you take like 7 steps, you just drop dead or something.
Oh my God.
Like that's just what it should be instead of just a pop. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. He punches him in the heart, and then he gets the victory after that. So this is not over. This is nowhere close to being over. There is so much that needs to unfurl with this nonsense because Ahmed Johnson is not getting any of his licks in.
No, and it's annoying. Like, At this point, it's like, how many times are we gonna kick this dog? Like, it's just messed up. Call
Right.
PETA. I
Right.
can't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sad. Like, and I was thinking about this. I was like, man, like if he really doesn't win this, like that sucks because he is coming back from an insane injury.
Right.
The whole like since he's been back, it's just like blow
One
after
after the
blow after blow. Like it just sucks, dude. Like I would admit, like we talked about last week, like I too understand like how many like this is just BS. Like no one
he's
like how
like
about no, you can't allow the Nation Domination to come down to the ring. Like let's talk. Like just Clarence Mason, that's his manager. Why do you need this posse around you? Like
you
we need some legislation passed at the WWF.
and apparently like they're all like just gung-ho to like die for this man. So
Which
like
is
which
crazy.
is nuts because like what has he done for you? Like
Except
I'm
yell.
still waiting to hear like what he's bringing to the
Like
table.
do you guys get benefits? Is there health insurance, dental, vision? Like what are we working with? How's the maternity leave?
Exposure? Does
Like
he have like good connects? Like what is this?
yeah, like is there like salary increase? Like I'm just curious. Like I'd love to see the benefits package.
I think the benefits package is just like not getting your ass beat by Farouk.
That's
Like,
and kind of a good benefit,
it's,
but
yeah, I mean like all inclusive, not getting your ass beat package. And I
wraps it
think
all up into one little bow.
and I think there's nothing else really after that. Um
Bummer.
honestly. So after that match, we get a interview with the new World Wrestling Federation champion, Shawn Michaels. He
Let's go,
comes
girls.
he comes out, graces us with his he's going beard. I love
Mm,
it.
I
I'm
love
here
beard.
for it. Um we learned that he has a rematch at Thursday Raw Thursday, which is apparently just a Raw that's happening on a Thursday, from what I can
And
gather.
I love it because they really like they'll go like, yeah, Thursday Raw, Raw Thursday, it's gonna be Raw, and
Right.
like they just because so like it gets
It's just,
ingrained in your
yeah, they're just
brain.
like, remember, it's gonna be on Thursday, and you're like,
Yep.
what day? Fuck.
Yeah, like like
um. So basically, the gist of the promo is like it's all about the title.
not my
It,
favorite Shawn Michaels
it was a
something.
little like of a stretch. I feel like there was it's kind of a wide net he has to cover because like
Yeah.
he has to cover like his rematch with Psycho Sid and then talk about this fatal four way, but he hasn't really like he still has to get past the rematch to get to the fatal four way. So it's like,
So we
why
can't
are
like
you like
yeah,
it's just it was a little bit like weird.
it was
But
a long
basically,
walk down a short pier.
yeah, it was just like basically it's just like it's all about the title. Like essentially it's like is I need to be bad to like keep the title, and that like bad is what I'm gonna be. Like it's all about like doing what I have to do to maintain like being the champion by hook or crook. Doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which I love that line by hook or
By
by
hook or
crook.
crook,
I
hot.
love it.
I want to say like I also love because his reasoning for accepting the rematch with Psycho Sid was like, you gave me a shot. Like I like Psycho Sid gave me a rematch. I had to fight for it and I had to work for it, but he gave me a shot. So like it seems fair to like give him a shot. And
Right.
I love this because like Shawn Michaels is clearly like entering the bad boy era where like
Hmm.
he's moving into again hook or crook, but he still has that like teensy bit of like I owe you a debt and I
Right.
will pay my debts, which is
Hmm.
like just it's kind of hot. It's like
Right. I get
yeah.
that. Like
He's
he
not
said
like a I don't want to say like nitpicky. He's not petty. He's not like well, he's petty, but he's not like a petty like I'm not giving you a shot. It's my title. He's
right,
like,
right,
"Listen,
right.
you gave me one. I'll give you one back. I'm still going to hold on to it, but you can have your shot."
Right, right,
I
right.
love that.
Right. Well, because it's just like a such a like understood confidence thing about
Yes.
it. You know what I mean? Where it's just like
Totally.
he's just like, I'm not running from you,
Yeah,
certainly.
like
So okay.
love that
Um
guy.
then after that, we start getting staggered entrances of the four members of the Fatal Four Way. So Bret Hart comes out first,
Mhm.
and he fully dismisses Sean's handshake. Like Sean is like holding out his hand for like a minute. Like he's
Mhm.
just like, and Brett just like literally looks at it and it's just like, okay, like he might as well just like snorted in his face. Like he was just like, no.
He was like,
Yeah, like
gross.
no, literally like so beneath him.
Mm-hmm.
Um but Bret Hart, essentially, the gist of his little bit of this was, you're the one I want to face. He's like, I have no doubts that I'm going to be the one coming out of the like coming out as the winner of the four-way match. So it's going to be me and you at WrestleMania if you can hold on to that. He even went up like so far as to say like he's like, I want you like 100%. I want you healthy. I'll even go as far to say is like I will watch your back, because when it comes to like getting the title, I want to win it from you, which makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. Like from a storyline
Yeah.
perspective, Shawn was the one that beat Bret over a year ago at WrestleMania to get the first his first championship in the first place, and they've just had a long-standing beef of just kind of being in each other's headspace, just being in each other's physical space, and just having a different philosophy of wrestling generally. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just all kind of like culminating into this like long standing feud where it's just like they just don't like each other personally. Um, then Vince is just like, let's bring out the Undertaker, and we're
I
like,
swear.
ooh. And Kelsey was brought out a good point. Is just like she was like, I wonder what he's gonna say, because it's not like he does these things like very often. And really,
Yeah.
up until this point, we haven't really heard him speak much,
Much.
other
Yeah.
than like in pre-recorded like promos.
Promo things. Yeah. Like with Mankind, he did a little more talking. But yeah, I was like, I don't know if I've ever, and if he has, I don't really remember. But I was like, I don't know if he's ever done one of these where he's like, yeah, let's get Undertaker on the mic, see what he has to say.
Right. And it was fantastic.
Beautiful.
He like goes to like Bret Hart. He's like, "Oh, you want to talk about like screwed? Like, look at what's been happening to me for the last like year." He's like, "Uh,
Girl, I'm saying, even the king was like, he has a point. I was like,
no, literally."
he
And
said it.
it's just like a long standing thing with like the Undertaker is like to beat the Undertaker, like you really got to be doing the most.
The most.
So realistically, he goes on to just be like, I've sat back for too long. He's like, I will no longer be hunted. I'm gonna be the hunter. And
Mm,
then he turns to Shawn Michaels and he goes, send your soul to the Lord, because your belt and your body are mine. And I was like, "Oh, sir,
so,
sir,
so good.
I
So good.
send your soul to the Lord, because the rest of it's mine." I was like, oh,
I'm
that's
sweating.
brutal. That's
So good.
brutal. That's so intimidating.
So
It's
good.
so simple. It's so like
Mm.
it invokes an image. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
elegant. It ties in with his character. It's not overdone. Like
no,
it's just it was so good. And even when he like pointed to the belt and was like, that is rightfully mine. I was like, I agree. Anything you say, I
right,
agree. Like,
right,
whoa. Ugh. But yeah, give yourself to the Lord is crazy.
right. I was like, where's he going with this? And I was like, oh, oh, okay. So good. I can't like that. Just it's just such a good line. Like I can't wait to get into like an argument and just use that. Like I
That part.
cannot wait.
That part. I literally was like, ooh, gotta hold on to that one. That's a goodie.
Put that file
Give
that
your
one away.
soul to the Lord because your body is mine.
Right. Oof.
Mhm.
Amen. And
Fabulous.
then
He's only
Stone
second person
no,
now.
only the second one. Only the second
Woo!
one. And then Stone Cold comes out, and essentially he's like, all I see is three crybabies in the ring. I don't care. Like he's
But
like,
he didn't go into the ring.
no, he's like, I smell an ambush, or I know an ambush when I see one. And he's
Mm-hmm.
like, and you three are like looking to like get into the whatever. And I was
Jump
like, oh
me. Which this
yeah,
was JR's little cameo. He was Stone Cold's mic stand.
oh
That's it.
absolutely.
Didn't
He's
say a
just,
word. He was
just
like,
like literally just happy to be here, happy to collect that
mm-hmm.
paycheck. Good for you.
Good for
Um,
you.
mind you, the entire time that Stone Cold is speaking, in the background, you just see the silhouettes of Vader and Paul Bear, which is like a nice touch because like having them all kind of like speak is like a bit
Mm,
much to just kind
hmm.
of like, or at least the format. So having like Stone Cold like stop at the ramp and then having Vader just kind of be like, Vader doesn't need to say a lot. Vader just
Exactly.
needs
I was
a
gonna say that.
presence. Like,
Yeah.
and like he essentially said everything he needed to say as far as like his stake in the game by just being like, I'm right here. I'm always right here. I'm
Mm-hmm.
looming and I'm a threat. Like that's it.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't
Period.
even have to say anything. Just the silhouette of him said all of that.
Yep.
So like I feel like you lose a little bit of that with Vader when he like talks too much.
100%. And I liked this because you would naturally just be like, well, Undertaker's gonna be the one looming in the background, like
Right.
the overarching threat. Everyone is scared of him. Because even when he was coming out, like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart looked scared. Like when the Undertaker was coming out, they were like,
Mhm.
okay, like all right. But it would like in your brain, you'd be like, okay, like Undertaker's the one looming in the shadows, whatever. So I liked that they did Vader because like Vader is also crazy. Like he's huge. He gets his licks in. He's beaten the Undertaker. Like
Right.
he is a serious threat, and he is like a threat, like hanging over all of them. Like he's beaten all of them, I'm pretty sure, except
Yeah.
maybe Stone Cold.
Yeah.
But he's like he is a serious threat. So to have him standing there, he has a new manager, which like Paul Bear hate him so much, but also he has Mankind who's insane, Vader who's
Mhm.
this big crazy power bombing dude. Like they are like a formidable image to just be like, here I am. I don't have to say anything because you're scared
No,
regardless.
exactly. And
Yeah.
like then they kind of like Stone Cold starts, mouthing off and like goes to like he's gonna go into the ring and then he doesn't and then he starts walking back and then he sees Vader and then they start like mouthing off at each other and he
Mm-hmm.
like storms off of the back. I'm so excited for this match. I'm so excited
I
because
really
it's just
cannot
like
wait.
the participants are so high caliber
I can't,
that
yeah.
like it's just like there's no way this isn't going to be great.
It
And
has to be
I mean, like,
insane.
we could just be hyping this up for ourselves, but like, honestly, I don't remember this match, so it's not like I'm not leading you astray. I just don't know. I'm
But
just
like
excited for it.
how could it be underwhelming? Like
I don't know.
it's just like the most insane four people.
Mm.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out, but
I'm ready for it.
ready, girl.
It's gonna tear it down. There's no way that's not gonna be amazing. And I don't foresee, Psycho Sid winning the title back anytime soon.
That'd be
So
crazy. Yeah.
that would be a case of like hot potato that nobody asked for. No,
So
honestly.
true. No,
Um,
really. That's a good point.
so in our next match, we had the British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith taking on Doug Furnace.
Mm,
Um,
sorry.
mm.
That came right out.
It was such a visceral
Woo!
reaction.
I love
Um,
Doug Furnace, girl.
so it was announced that the British Bulldog and Owen Hart will put their titles on the line against Doug Furnace and Philip LaFon at the next In Your House pay-per-view. So, which
Mm,
kind of makes this match make a little bit more sense as far as like, I mean, they've been kind of wrestling each other, but um, this is kind of the direction they're going. I
right.
imagine we're probably going to see a like a Philip LaFon Owen Hart match.
Ooh, I hope so.
So,
Because Philip Buffon came out in like the cutest little training shorts
oh
or
my God.
pants.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So cute.
Very rocky, very cute.
He really looked like he was in a like wrestling something in like the Bronx.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
a
yeah.
like he really gave very much like, you know, like in a warehouse in the Bronx or
Oh yeah,
something, or
yeah.
like
Just
a
beating up
yeah,
like pigs. I don't
meats.
know.
Yeah, like meats in the locker. Heck
Right, right,
yeah.
right.
So cute.
So this match was also just great because they're both
Amazing.
athletically ridiculous. Doug Furnace can suplex just the skin off of a man, and like, and the
Where
Davey Boy.
though?
No, literally though, because it is so fast and the snap is so violent that you're just like you feel like like their bones land and then everything else like falls on top of them
It's
like a
literally like
cartoon.
a cartoon. Like
Yeah, like where
100%.
they
Where
it
like
just like
they fall
separates.
like yeah, 100%.
So
And also the both of them, you want to talk about big meaty thighs.
big meaty thighs. Oh my god!
For
Like
both
if
of
you,
them. It was the
it,
battle of the big meaty
you could
thighs.
just like place like watermelons on like a conveyor belt, and they could just like crush them with their thighs. Like it was obscene. It was
Wow, I
obscene.
love that visual of them
You're
just like
welcome. Yeah, they are the reason factories exist.
Industrial Revolution. Who's that? Never heard of
um
her.
don't unnecessary. What they do, like change the color of moths or something?
From pollution.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what
um
I learned in public school.
no, literally, like what a like memory unlocked. um Anyway, so this match is going pretty well. Owen Hart's minimally involved as far as like the earlier part of the match goes. There's one point where Davey Boy Smith has Doug Furnas outside of the ring and he drops the ring steps on him, all crazy, all kinds of wild,
Right in front of the ref.
which apparently we're just fine with now. Like apparently the steps are just fair game at this
Whatever.
point.
It's part of the ring, part of the ship, part of the crew. Literally, the ref is like, don't do it, don't do it. Like, literally body blocking the British Bulldog from doing it. And then he was just like, I mean, I guess, whatever. Like, he
Yeah,
literally like stepped aside. Like, it
yeah,
was
I was
so
just
weird.
I I don't think you took
Indeed.
your oath seriously, Rat. No,
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
just
know
kidding.
what's going on.
But so apparently the steps are fair game now. That's I guess what we're deciding.
Not mad,
And
just confused.
oh, and then during this match, it cuts to a clip of Ahmed Johnson, who is apparently just so irate that he has taken a 2x4 from I don't know where he's storing all this lumber, and it just just
Home Depot?
like he's
What's
just
going
like
on?
this man's always got a 2x4 on deck. Like I'm
On
just
Zach Ready.
don't know where he's getting it all. So he's just like out there searching for the nation, just like swinging a 2x4 around. He goes and like breaks into like the nation's like dressing room, and Vince McMahon's just like, and they're not in there. And you're just like, oh, that was so deflating.
I know. Literally, he breaks down the door, literally breaks the lock, shrapnel of door everywhere, bus in. Nobody's there.
No,
We're like,
nobody's
okay.
there. Okay. So then we cut back to the match, and it's just like a random like close up of like not like you can just hear Owen really well, and he's just like my loser or my lousy brother Brett. Like he's a
Yep.
loser, and I'm
He's
just
a
like
loser.
and it just I eat it up. It's just so stupid that like I live for it. All of his
I know.
stupid little character, I'm here for.
I do love
So
Owen Hart so much.
honestly, so there's this one point where Owen gets onto the apron, which prompts Philip LaFawn to also jump on the apron, and the referee is too concerned with Philip LaFawn being on the apron to notice whatever Owen is doing, and that is setting up Doug Furnas to be kind of like thrown from the ropes into the Slammy Award. Luckily for, I mean, Doug Furnas temporarily, the British Bulldog collides with the butt end of the Slammy Award. Hard, which we
Really
like
hard.
we found on the like the replay, like when they did it in like slow-mo, you really see that thing
Right
smack
in
his
the.
head.
It was bad.
So they're kind of like tussling around for a little bit, and then the British Bulldog gets like a kind of like a simple reversal and gets the pinfall victory, which is crazy.
Really
To me.
crazy.
Like I was not expecting him to win, especially after getting like decked in
Hit
the
with the
face.
slammy. Because, like, the amount of people we have seen hit with that freaking slammy. I
Right.
want them to have like another slammy tournament just so it can change hands. I just like don't want to see it anymore. But
Oh
like,
my god. Yeah.
like, so, but we've seen so many people get knocked out with the slammy, and then the British Bulldog was just like, whoa, like, what a
Right.
weird thing that just had. Like, he didn't even fall. Like, and Doug Furnas really thinks he gets the jump on him, and then he does not. It was shocking.
Yeah, honestly. But then after the match, we start finally seeing the threads being pulled on this,
Unravel.
on this relationship between Owen and the Bulldog, because the Bulldog is pissed. Like he may have gotten the victory, but he is not happy to have just gotten
No.
decked in the
Yep.
head.
I
Like
wouldn't be either.
he got
Like, hello?
rocked. So
Rocked.
they're like feuding in the ring. Jerry's making like comments about how this would never have happened under Jim Cornette. If they were still under Jim Cornette, this would never be a thing.
Who's still missing? We don't even know where he is.
The Undertaker just took him out of commission forever.
He might be dead. We're not sure.
So there's one point where like Owen and Clarence Mason are like trying to like calm the British Bulldog down, and like they hand him the like world title. They'll be like look, like we're a tag team, blah 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 blah. He like throws it onto the floor, and then Owen like places the Slammy onto the like the ring mat, and they do like this weird like close up to it, and then just like the Slammy is dead center, and then the Slammy just falls over, and Vince, as if he was just like, I don't know when he
granted a vision, like it was.
That's so Ravened himself into like just like existence, because he's just like he's like, that's a bad omen.
That's a bad omen. That's a bad omen. The Slammy falling over. We were
cackling.
I was like, the next thing you know, he's gonna be at the announce table, like throwing bones and being like, the stars.
No, literally, like burn the witch. Like, what is happening? Like, what?
That's a bad omen. He flipped. I mean, I thought it was funny. I was like, I love that they made this Slammy like the set, and then it just went like bink, like it fell over.
Literally. And he was just like freaking out, and I was like, sir, you're making mountains out of molehills. Like,
yeah, he's like, I've seen the future. Bad things. So funny.
So ridiculous. It was just like, okay, sir. So after that, we get a flashback to Shotgun Saturday, where we have an interview with Savio Vega, who for some reason we had to have this interview in the middle of a nightclub. Just like, don't get me like, no, fully just the most raucous nightclub. So
girl, strippers
basically was just like, they asked him about like what, there were strippers. I forgot.
There were strippers, poles in every corner. Like the music was bumping. They were literally, it was a nightclub, and they were like
Webster Hall.
It was Webster Hall, which is so crazy. It was Webster Hall B in the D, because it does not look like that anymore.
No.
Nuts. But yeah.
So they interview him. They ask him about like his match with Ahmed Johnson, like what happened there, and he's just like, oh, like they ask him if he's a part of the Nation, like flat out, and he's like, no, like no, I'm not. I just had like a bad day.
And it literally what got me so good, because they put like his name while he's getting interviewed, but it said Savio Vega had a bad day. Like that's literally not like Savio Vega like weather, like or anchor, like does the news. It was Savio Vega had a bad day.
Had a bad day. Yeah, and you're just like, that's your moniker? Like, had a bad day.
had a bad day.
I was like, me too, Savio. What do you want, a cookie? Like,
and I still came to work and didn't disrespect my coworkers.
Oh my god. So basically, Savio is just like, nah, he just caught like that Puerto Rican temper, blah blah blah. So then they cut into one of Savio's matches against Rocky Maivia, and then there is like the Nation comes out and like does their little like hand like solidarity symbol thing, and then we're like, okay, like are they just like trying to recruit him? Are they like, what's up? And then we find out that Savio is officially in the Nation because he gives the symbol right back, and then all of the Nation comes in to just beat up on The Rock as if he hasn't been there for 3.5 seconds and has no idea what the hell's going on. So like,
swear.
No, literally, they were just like, he definitely like showed up to work that day. He's like, so here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get your ass handed to you because you're new, and that's
pay your dues, sweetie.
Yeah,
you're gonna go to this strip club, dance club party,
right?
Get beat up.
I'm telling you, I said this while we were watching. We would have thrived in the era of Shotgun Saturday.
I said, it's like, if I could go back in time, I would be there every weekend.
Every weekend.
So fun and so crazy. We would have been there every weekend.
Raucous, just absolutely raucous.
Unhinged behavior.
Amen.
Like New York underground wrestling in the 90s.
Say less.
Like, I'm there.
I'm sold. We were rolling up to Webster Hall anyway. Like, let's go.
We were already there. We were just on the wrong day. Like, what's going on? I don't know. Crazy. So insane. I'm so mad at Savio Vega.
I know.
I'm so disappointed in him because you can go back on almost every episode of his podcast, the way we sang his praises, the way we respect Savvy with the hands, Vega, the way he used to come and stand up for everybody, the way he was cradling Jose Lothario's son when he was down.
Not
And then
2
you're
weeks
telling
ago.
me,
Not
2
3 weeks.
weeks ago, what has happened in that short amount of time? I just don't understand where this bitterness is coming from. You have to join the Nation of Domination and beat up people for no reason. And I understand you like to throw hands, and I get it. And maybe you're trying to look for some sort of outlet for this. I don't know. But joining a cult is not the answer.
No, it is
I'm
not.
I'm so sad. I love Savio Vega, and I don't know why. Like, I think I guess because like Nation of Domination is like a bad group at this time. And we don't know. Well, I don't know if that changes. But like, I'm just like, why, Savio? Why? Really got me right in the heart. I was like, why would he do this?
Well, maybe we'll have more of an explanation coming
I need
up.
more. I need more than
Need
this.
more.
Then other than like, because you know what I still needed more of when because sometimes they are so weak with the excuses. Like, I still don't understand really why Paul Bear betrayed the Undertaker. He was like, nah, he's just so annoying. That was like his reason for just
literally
destroying their friendship.
He's like, I'm done here, and
He's
you're
like,
like,
I need something fresh and new. Just really like.
I was like, okay, Paul.
I need better reasons. Savio, like, I better get an explanation for this betrayal because my heart is hurt over this. I won't lie. I'm really hurt.
I won't lie.
Savio Vega had a bad day. Me, Savio Vega, I had a bad day. Okay?
They might all be bad. No.
From here on out.
just Savio Vega in like a sad like cup, just like ain't no sunshine.
Wow.
All right. So in our main event, we had the odd couple of Mankind and Vader taking on the Godwins. Always a pleasure to see
Always
Hillbilly
a delight
Jim
to see
and the
Hillbilly
boys.
Jim. I was like, you want to know something? Hillbilly Jim has been the most consistent manager since we've started watching this. He never leaves the boys. He's always there for him. He's always ready with the banjo music and the goat and the jig-a-leg when they win. Like, when they win, he goes off. Goes off, and I love that for him.
Just nothing but do-si-dos in the ring. Nothing.
I'm saying, and they've been through some stuff, and he is stuck by their side.
Amen.
And we salute you, Hillbilly Jim. Amen.
Cheers. So apparently Ahmed Johnson is combing the parking lot with a 2x4, which is insane because if any shirtless 6'5" man was swinging a 2x4 in the parking lot of any venue ever, he would be arrested on site.
He'd be tased.
There is no way.
So bad. Immediately.
This match was just a meeting of the big boys. Nothing but big boys everywhere.
Yep. And like Mankind the Psycho. Like,
Mankind was like on one in this one. There were points in the match where like Mankind like is getting his like ish rocked, and he's just like gets knocked down in the corner, and then he just starts like rocking in the corner right next to Vader, and Vader's like, hey, tag me, how you doing, I'm in your face, I'm on your team, pick me. And Mankind's just like, no, nothing, did not like even acknowledge it. It
was weird. Great because it was great in that it was so ridiculous because it further emphasized that like why are we on the same team? So weird, just because we have the same dad? Crazy. But I know. It was funny too because obviously like Mankind has always been alone. Right. Like he's never done a tag team before. Like he doesn't form allies, he doesn't have friends, like that's not his thing. And it was funny because like after that, like Vader was like, hello, I'm trying to get the tag, and Mankind was like it's almost like he wasn't even there. Right. And then they are both out of the ring at one point, and Paul Bear is literally going like this to Mankind, like he's showing him his hand and then going like, you take your hand and you tap, like as if he's explaining it to like a 3-year-old how to pet the dog nice. Okay, we nice pet the puppy. Right. Like literally he was like, you take your hand, pat and tag Vader,
the big man.
and then you tag and you swap. Like it was literally like he was explaining it like to a toddler, which was funny because it adds that image of like Mankind literally doesn't, he's a rabid dog. You aim him at who you want him to fight and you let him go.
Right.
There isn't critical thinking in it. Like it's
No.
just rabid.
Which is
So this was like kind of
amazing.
funny. Like it was kind of like crazy.
And it set the stage for kind of just uh the interactions that followed in the match, because there's this one point where Mankind is like on the outside of the ring and he kind of just is like side-eyeing Vader, just like there's just like this air of just like, I don't trust you, I don't like you, I don't really know why you're here. Like there's just like this, like, I don't know, there's like air that just something in the side eye that was just like, I don't like any part of this.
I don't want to share my dad.
No, fully. He was,
Literally,
that Brady Bunch was not happening. Like,
yeah, no. Oh, also, I wanted to mention this, even though it's a little off topic, that there was a comment between Vince, an exchange between Vince and the King during this talking about Shotgun Saturday Night. And I guess they were like talking about who's gonna be there like next Saturday. And Vince, or no, the King goes, is the double jointed girl gonna be there again?
oh my
And
God.
Vince goes, no, but I heard Marlena's coming back.
Oh
As
my
in
God.
Marlena flash her tits at Shotgun Saturday Night is coming back.
Oh my God.
And I was like, y'all are sick.
Y'all are sick. Well played though.
I'll be there, but y'all are sick.
No, fully.
I'm coming.
Like
Y'all are sick.
I would be there in a heartbeat. I am as gay
So
as the
quick.
day is long, but you tell me that Marlena's gonna take her tits out, I'm there. I want to be front row. I want to see.
Who doesn't? I mean,
I want to see. I want to be
I wanna
there
see
just for
it.
just to live in the moment. Could you imagine what a bonding moment that was for everybody in the crowd? They left that, and that's what they talked about for a week. They went
for a
into
week, forever.
they
They're
went
deathbed talking about
they
it.
went into the office on Monday and they're like, you're not gonna believe what I did on Saturday.
And that was
Like,
the 90s where it was always word of mouth.
everything
No
was
one
word of
saw that
mouth.
online. Like
No,
nobody was
we were straight
shit
Paul
chatting.
revering that.
What if I land two of my tits? Let's go.
Oh
On
my
Saturday night.
Hey, yo, that should have been the tag.
Swear to God, literally, that's what I'm saying, guys. Again, new slogan just dropped. What if I land two of my tits? New to wrestling podcast. Let's go.
Oh my God, I would get that. You know those like shorts that like all the like bros wear, where it's just like printed across like their crotch, just like stop looking at my dick. Like I would just get that, but like as like a fun t-shirt.
That is best idea. New merch dropping. Let's go. No.
No, honestly, I wish. So there's this one point where Mankind is doing the mandible claw on Phineas, and then Henry comes out of the woodwork and like knocks them both over the ring. And then there's this one point where Phineas is in the ring and both Mankind and Vader kind of grab the top rope and like slingshot him out of the ring. And the way there's just not enough room on the outside, on the side of the ring that they did it on.
Yeah.
Because like Phineas gets over the top rope, but because he's 300 pounds, he hits the side of the ring, like just like his spine just kind of curves around the side of the ring, and then his like knee or his leg kind of like buckles underneath him as he's like falling. It just looked
it was so bad.
so horrible.
Like he like his foot went like backwards. Like it was just
it looked horrible.
Looked really bad.
Then like Henry Godwin comes in like just a bat out of hell and just like knocks into like it looked like he like jumps over Phineas, but it looks like he was like 2 inches from just like stomping on Phineas's face to launch himself onto Mankind and Vader. Like it
really
was
close call. Really
that
whole tussle within those like 20 seconds was just like I don't know. Like it was just, you were like, someone's gonna die. I don't know. It
was absolutely wild.
Looked so painful.
But during this match, we get a commercial break, and it is the funniest commercial break that has ever happened in my entire life. So apparently it's like a Snickers commercial, which is hilarious.
But how?
I don't know. But it goes to essentially it like is a Snickers commercial that is kind of like a joke of like a cologne commercial, I guess. So it cuts to like this like random French like cologne looking thing, and then it cuts to the world's closest close up of the world's ugliest basketball player, and he just goes,
Okay,
you want to smell like me? And you're
Oh,
just like, no, sir, I don't know who you are.
but just to keep in mind, like to set the scene, we were watching this. Like I said, it was like the most stressful 20 seconds ever. And then suddenly it's like, we'll be right back. And then it's literally like cologne and like da da da. And suddenly it's like, you want to smell like me?
And it was just like,
We're like,
no, no.
I'm sorry to this man. I'm sorry to this
I'm
man. I don't
sorry.
know
Yeah,
you. I don't
that
know
was
anything about you.
no, but
But
that was terrifying.
it was so
It
scary.
was so
Like it was a
jarring.
horror movie. Like you want to smell like me? Wear
I
my
know,
skin. Like
it was horrible. And then we're like going to the commercial, we're cackling because we're just like, that was the most random thing
these
ever.
were
And then
terrible.
at the end of the commercial, it's just his face again. And I was just like, I'm done. I'm done here.
Because we were like, okay, we were laughing, just processing him, his face, the close up, the phrase, like just losing our minds, but thinking it's over.
Right.
And then he just comes back for round 2 right at the end, just
You want to smell like me?
you want to smell like me.
He was like,
And I was like, I don't know you. I like don't think I do. And then somehow that was a Snickers commercial.
and
But there
yeah,
was also like a telethon kind of vibe with like people sitting at the phones. Like I literally, it was so confusing and
no,
not necessary for the middle of the match,
but it was so funny.
but it was
I
so
like,
funny.
I was just like, this man. I'll find a pic. I'm gonna find a picture. I'm gonna
Yeah,
find a
and again,
picture.
sorry to this man. I don't know your career, I don't know your accomplishments. I'm sure you were well loved enough to be in a Snickers commercial. That's
Right,
great. But
honestly.
I don't know you. I didn't want to know you like that
And I certainly don't want to
either.
smell like you.
And I certainly don't want to smell like you, especially not after that. You want to smell
I'm
like
just
me.
going like strictly off visuals, but like
Vibes, visuals, all of it. It was a little. There were some things askew.
mostly his jawline. But like, sure.
You tried to restrain yourself. I saw it. I saw the fight behind your eyes of you trying to be like, don't say it. Don't say it.
I know, but
Then
I'm
you're
a
like,
horrible person and I
I
had to.
know. Again, this poor guy, he's probably like an Olympic gold medal winner, like
And yeah, and
amazing,
who are
whatever.
we? Just
And who are we?
dumpster fires
Trash.
with a microphone.
Trash. Yeah.
But
So
whatever.
had to say it.
So we are continuing this match. Everyone's on the outside. Somehow, Mankind has grabbed possession of a chair. It looks like Vader is holding Henry Godwin, and they're about to like get into it, yeah. And Henry Godwin moves out of the way at the last minute. Mankind accidentally decks Vader with the chair. Then they get immediately, or like not immediately, but shortly after that, they get counted out by the referee because they've all been outside for like 100 years, unbeknownst to everybody. And so that gives the Godwins the victory technically. But the thing that is like the call out of this is the weird, creepy smile that is like all over Mankind's face after he hit Vader with the chair.
Chair,
There was just
yeah.
something that was just like, there was just a little bit like, it was just like, I'm sorry. You,
It's very older sibling hurts younger sibling vibe.
I know it
Very
well.
much yes, because this is great because you're the oldest and I'm the youngest, so we get to swap stories about being on the other side of the
Right. Yeah.
But like there's been times where my sister like caused me bodily harm and like cried to my parents, and then as soon as they were gone, she was like like so pleased.
So pleased.
So wrong for that. And that's just how it goes. But literally he was just like,
oh my siblings, truly the first character builders.
so literally, yeah. Oh my god.
So we think the kind of like episode is like kind of done there. We're like, okay, we've created all the chaos we're gonna create. Sure. Nope.
Nope.
Ahmed Johnson is still out here looking for the nation. He finally catches up with them, and I guess they're like trying. First of all, they're like parked at like the outside of like the arena. They look like they're like in the middle of like a deal, like you know what I mean? Like it's just like why are they like? Anyway, they are loading up their car to like leave. Ahmed Johnson like comes up behind them, swinging the 2x4, throws one of them into the trunk of the car, closes it. They like drive off. One of the other like punks is like hanging out of the side of the limousine as they like skirt off, and they just leave Ahmed Johnson in the dust swinging that 2x4 like a maniac, and that's how the episode ends. Which is crazy.
My question is, why throw him into the vehicle?
That's
if
what
you're
I was
trying
like,
to beat him up.
Right.
You literally threw him in and closed the trunk. It's like, okay, take care, you guys.
No, literally, like
But
okay.
Yeah, and then Ahmed Johnson like chases after them, but it's like, what are you doing?
They're in a car. They're gone.
Poor Ahmed Johnson. I really do feel for him. But I don't know. It's just him and that 2x4 versus
eventually everyone will get their comeuppance, I'm sure. All will be righted with the world very briefly until it is not again.
I hope so. Yeah, because it's like, you know, I want people to get like their just desserts, but also at the same time, it's like, but then like, I love the main course. Like, right. I love the beef, the tussle, the anger building, the tension. So it's like, if everything was like, if everyone won the way you wanted them to, and everyone was happy,
we'd have no show.
We'd have no show. So I get it, but it's just like, God, this has been like a whole year in the making. Like, I need him to just like really land one so bad. Stick the landing.
So bad.
Bad.
We need it as Ahmed Johnson fans. We need the win.
We do. As what did you say where he had the Cisco treatment?
The Cisco treatment, absolutely.
God, he's got to come back from that.
Let's hope that there is coming back. I mean, if he can come back from like a ruptured kidney, I'm sure the fabric of his pants touching his anus isn't going to be the be all end all. So
I was not expecting you to say that.
I wasn't expecting to say it. So
yeah.
All right, guys. So that has been another edition of the New to Wrestling podcast. Thank you, as always, for watching, listening, wherever you find us, wherever you interact with us. We appreciate it.
Yep.
We would love your comments, feedbacks. Just send us random wrestling vids. We're here for it. We'd love to react to it. Ask Kelsey. A lot of our interaction these days are just me sending her random wrestling things
and me screaming. Xavier sent me, and I think you posted it on our Instagram story, a picture of Bret Hart and the Undertaker in the ring.
Oh yeah.
Be still my beating heart. The way I'm going to print that photo and put it on my wall.
You should make it part of your set just behind you.
I absolutely will, with my purple Undertaker lights. I don't know if
I love
ever
that.
commented
Don't
on
think
that.
I
But
didn't...
I hung them for when I was the Undertaker for Halloween, and I was like, I love these.
But it also goes with the like everything else of our like show, because it's very purple themed.
That's what I'm saying. It works
I love
for
purple
us
so much.
But yeah, me too. But the way like Bret Hart is sitting on the top rope like this, and the it's so good. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, that's basically all our interactions. Is Xavier sending me like pictures or like crazy videos or things like that. So join us. Join the fray.
Join the fray.
Join the fray.
Before we depart, finally, we have about another 10 days of voting for the best wrestling podcast category of the Sports Podcast Awards. So that was a mouthful, but as per usual, I will link the voting link in the description of this video, as well as everything that we post over the socials in the next couple weeks. As just a reminder, we are thrilled to have even been shortlisted. We are literally in the same category as like wrestling legends and just a bunch of talented people, so this does not go unappreciated. Anything you want to add to that?
I'm just so psyched. I just think it's so cool. Again, like it's so cool to do this just because we have so much fun. And it's so cool to just like, even like you said, be in a category shortlisted with so many cool people. Like it's just wild. So I don't even really have the words. So insane.
Yeah, anything past whatever we've done already is really truly icing on the cake. But we will appreciate your support in any capacity. And we will catch you guys next week.
We'll see you there.
Bye.
Bye.